we've got your attention. Let the games begin. Game cartridges assembling. Greetings. Game loading. Mind your fingers. Keep working, you rust buckets. Uh-oh. 1 0 1 0. I don't know. I just can't seem to get a grip. Ugh, revolting slob.
You know, we can learn a thing or two from even the most peculiar people. Today, for example, the revolting slob is going to read us a poem.
Yeah?
Wonderful. What is it called?
The dead fly.
How original. Let's hear it.
The dead fly does not fly because I swatted it.
Well, it's not Shakespeare, but it's got a certain something. Is the revolting slob A, reciting, B, receding, or C, reciprocating? The answer is A, reciting, which means to repeat from memory or read aloud.
Dead fly does not fly because I swat.
Oh, goodness. That's not a very nice thing to do, especially after such lovely poetry. Oh, my word. Hide the pets. He's on a roll. Now, is this kind of behavior A, unpronounceable, B, unprintable, or C, unpardonable? The correct answer is C, unpardonable, meaning actions that are absolutely unacceptable. Gesundheit. Oh, you know it's impolite to sneeze into your hand and then dine on the contents. Such behavior is really quite A, disintegrated, B, discourteous, or C, dispersed. The correct answer is B, discourteous, which is really a polite way of saying rude. Rude, rude, rude. Well then, let's review.
The dead fly does not fly.
The revolting slob is reciting a lovely poem. Such rude behavior is unpardonable. Not to mention discourteous. Oh, and by the way, disintegrated means broken into little itsy-bitsy pieces. No slobs, cats, or flies were harmed in the filming of this show.
Well, we have lots of problems, and it's up to you to figure them out. If you don't, I'm telling you the truth. we all may go crazy. Man, that felt good. Here's the sinuses. Okay, here's how this whole thing works. We show you an equation, but instead of numbers, you see pictures, and you have to figure out what number they stand for. Then you just do the math. You cool? Then we better get started. 'Cause I can already feel the pressure building up in my brain. Follow me here. Take the minutes in an hour. Add that to all your fingers and toes. And don't you go counting them. Divided by the days it rained on Noah and his ark. Come on, you all remember Noah, don't you? The soaked old dude with all those animals and their best buds. And all those rainy days and nights. Got it? I could explain to you how it all worked out, but I won't. Because maybe you should already have the answer. But if you don't, what you do is this. Take the 60 minutes in an hour, add it to your 20 fingers and toes, I hope. Then you divide by the 40 days it rained on Noah. And the explosive answer is 2. 2. You want to try another one? Hey, Professor Rocket, close attention. First, take the unluckiest number that falls on a Friday. Then, add it to the number of nostrils in your nose. And don't go looking in a mirror. Now, you subtract the innings in a normal Yankees baseball game. Equals what? I'm waiting very patiently. Okay, here you go. You take the unlucky number 13. You add to the 2 nostrils in your nose. I hope. And subtract the 9 innings of a baseball game. And the answer is 6. 6. Of course, if you have only 1 nostril, I would accept 5. Okay, one more. You take Christmas Day. Now you subtract the Musketeers. Not the candy bar, man. The all for one and one for all dudes. Minus America's Great Lakes. What you get? Don't rush. I'll give you plenty of time. Time's up! You got Christmas on the 25th. And if you subtract 3 Musketeers and subtract the 5 Great Lakes, you can only end up with 17. 17! Which would also be a fine-looking number. Okay, that's out today. My brain's getting tired. Next time, I want you psychomath rookies to be refreshed and ready to rock and roll. Do you hear me? Good. Now get yourselves out of here. Y'all be giving me a headache. Professor Rocket's out.
Job, work, game time in 10 seconds. Greetings.
Game cartridge loading. Check.
Next game up, distraction news.
And now, Distraction News with your anchor person, Dora Smarmy.
Good evening. I'm Dora Smarmy, and welcome to Distraction News, where we give you the news and then ask you 5 questions about what we've reported. So make sure you're not distracted. And now our top story today, the Milky Way, the one without the nougat center. Our Milky Way is a galaxy, which simply is an enormous group of stars. Scientists believe that galaxies are formed from vast spinning clouds of gas, which can take on a number of different shapes. The Milky Way was forged into a disk shape, becoming what's known as a spiral galaxy. The Milky Way is made up of the Earth, the Sun, and about 200 billion more stars. The Milky Way is so large that it would take light 100,000 years to travel from one end to the other. The Milky Way actually spirals, and the Sun takes about 220 million years to make one revolution. This is known as a cosmic year. Galaxies occur together in groups that are called clusters. The Milky Way is part of a cluster of at least 20 galaxies that is some 5 million light years across. Pretty amazing, huh? Well, I guess you would say that I've given you a distracting number of facts. So, let's see just how well you were able to concentrate. Here goes. The Milky Way is a large group of stars, a large group of movie stars, a large group of nougat center clusters. The answer is a large group of stars. Galaxies are formed by large swirling clouds of beans, gas, or carbon dioxymoron. The answer is gas. The sun's trip around the Milky Way is a cosmic experience, cosmocramer, or cosmic year. The answer is cosmic year. The Milky Way is known as a spiral galaxy, a gyro galaxy, or a spiral galaxy. The answer is spiral galaxy. And lastly, about how many stars are in the Milky Way? 200 billion, 2 gazillion, or 2? Many to count. The answer is 200 billion. So, how did you do? Get all 200 billion right? I would have settled for 10. If you did, have a Milky Way, the one with the nougat center. That's all the time we have for today, but remember, don't ever let anything distract you from watching Distraction News. So long.
This has been Distraction News with your favorite cardboard cutout anchor person, Dora Smarmy.
Next game coming up. Skip pad.
Hey, cats. It's your friend Sketch here to lay something heavy on you. Just 'cause you got eyes doesn't mean you always see. You got to get the whole picture before you really know what's going down. Don't believe me? Well, I'm going to show you some pages from my sketch pad, but not every page. See if you can tell what's happening before I show you the missing pages. You dig? Picture this. Daryl was this wacky cat who was caught trying to steal candy at the circus. It was going to take a while for the police to show up, so they put old Daryl up in the room where they store the stuff to make snow cones. Guess they thought he'd cool his heels there. Man, this cat was in trouble. There were no bars on the window, but he couldn't reach the window. And the door was locked solid. Yikes. But catch this. When the police got there, the cat was gone. No sign of our man Daryl. Nothing. Only a pool of water on the floor. Can you figure out what really went down before I lay the missing pages of my sketch pad on you? Believe me, it makes sense. Check this out. Now, maybe you think this cat Daryl had a buddy on the outside who threw him a rope. Well, that ain't it. Or you might be thinking Daryl is a Houdini, like the cat picked the lock to escape. But that ain't it. Or maybe you think I'm tricking you and the cat melted into the flow like that wicked witch kitten. Would I do that to you? No way, man. You know, Daddy-O, it makes you wonder. How could a guy get out of a locked room when he couldn't reach the window? And why would he leave behind a pool of water? Are you seeing it with me? Dig it. This cat, Daryl, they put him in the ice storage room. He moved a giant block of ice under the window. Then he climbed up and out, and the ice melted and left a puddle. Crazy. Like I've been telling you, when you really use your eyes, you're gonna draw the right conclusions. eternity. Shiver me timbers. Yo ho ho. Look alive, ye lollygaggers. I'm the incredibly dead Captain Bones. I've been sailing the seven seas for an eternity, and I'll tell ya, I'm a bored stiff. The only thing that saves me from going stark raving mad is making up math puzzles using nothing but me own bones. Now watch closely, and just do as I say, or I'll surprise the life out of ye. Just watch me bones. Let me show you what I mean. Now, you know that 1 and 1 don't come to 6, but there's a way to fix her up so she makes sense. And you can do it by moving only one of me bones. Can you see how? There ain't nothing to it. 7 minus 1 equals 6, you finger and toe counting calculator needing mathematical moron. Got the idea now, you macrame doing origami folding players with dolls? Now, try one on your own. Just let me shuffle up me bones. Does 6 plus 3 equal 11? Course not. It equals but 9, you sashaying, purse-slinging Cinderellas. To fix me bones, you're to move only one, just like I showed you not a moment ago. And hands off all me other bones, you vultures. It must be time for a clue. Only one of the numbers needs to change. Another thing, if but one number must change, then either the 6 or the 3 must get bigger, or the 11 must get smaller. Do ye follow? Here's a final hint, you rusty scuppers. The 11 is fine where she is. You get me? Enough already. Here's the answer, you hopscotch playing, jump roping mincers. 6 plus 5 equals 11. You pirouetting tutu wearing ballerinas. Bah, I'm through with a lot of ya. I'd make you walk the plank, but I'd hate to see you get your skirts wet. Arr.
Watch your backs. Coming through, coming through. No, wait, left, right, left. Okay, right there, hold it. Haunted house party.
Good evening. Welcome to our haunted and happening haunted house party. There's a plethora of fright awaiting you as our guest of honor has just arrived. And it's up to you to figure out who our guest is. I'll even give you the first clue. Tonight's mystery guest couldn't seem to stick to one occupation.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir. Sorry to keep you waiting.
It was only 5 minutes. Besides, it gave me time to design a more efficient manner of flying machine.
In 5 minutes?
Not the entire 5 minutes. I used the balance of the time to paint a portrait of your supper party.
Didn't you paint that the last time you were here?
You mean the last supper party? Yes, I did. I love supper parties. I painted them religiously.
Madam Lisa would love you to paint her.
And I will. I just love to paint Madam Lisa as long as she doesn't moan when I do. I love that cute little smile of hers.
She'll be most pleased.
Tell me, being that most of the guests here are dead, I should be able to find a healthy skeleton among them, shouldn't I? It's for a new anatomy text I'm developing.
I know just the fellow. He's rather thin, but willing.
Splendid. Please ask him if he'd be available.
Of course. If he asks, what should I say you do?
Simple. Just tell him I'm an inventor, painter, sculptor, astronomer, musician, biologist, anatomist, philosopher, mathematician, and all-around good guy.
Busy fellow, isn't he? Do you know who he is? He painted The Last Supper and Lisa the Mona, designs air machines, anatomy texts, as well as being an astronomer, musician, and everything else you could ever be. Our mystery guest is...
Leonardo da Vinci, at your service. Would you like to hear what else I can do?
I don't really think we have the time because we are out of here. See you next time on Haunted House Party.
That was cool. Let's play another. Work. Game time in 10 seconds. Poop or scoop?
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, I'm talking here. That's better. All right, it's time once again to play Poop or Scoop. Can you tell the straight scoop true from the animal poop false? Test your knowledge of the animal kingdom by separating fact from fiction, starting with this animal right here. Poop or scoop? Sharks have a poorly developed sense of smell and must rely on good eyesight to catch their prey. What do you think? If you agree that sharks don't smell too good, vote scoop. But if you think that's a stinking lie, vote poop. It's pure poop. Sharks don't rely just on their eyesight. They have an incredible sense of smell. It's so good, they can detect a drop of blood in the ocean more than 600 feet away. Okay, here we go again. Poop or scoop? Crocodiles can run at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. If you think that's the truth, vote scoop. If you think it's a croc, vote poop. Do crocodiles run at 30 miles per hour? It's poop. Pure poop. Crocodiles aren't that fast. In fact, out of the water, they can travel at 10 miles per hour, but only over very short distances. Okay, kids, here's a good one. Poop or scoop? The mosquito is the most dangerous creature on Earth. Do you believe that? If you do, scoop. If you don't, poop. The answer is, believe it or not, it's the straight scoop. In Africa, some mosquitoes carry malarial fever. They pass the malaria on to humans when they bite them. As many as 2.5 million Africans die from malaria each year. That makes mosquitoes more deadly to humans than all other creatures combined. Next question for you. Do millipedes really have 1,000 legs? If you think that they do, go for the scoop. But if you think that's one creepy, crawly lie, pile on the poop. The answer is pure poop. Millipedes don't have 1,000 legs. The largest live in South Africa, but they only have 710 legs. Still, that's more limbs than any other creature alive. Well, kids, that's all we got for you today. If you got only one right, you're a party pooper. 2, and you're a pooper scooper. 3 makes you a super pooper scooper. If you got all 4 questions, you're what else? A super duper pooper scooper. I'm telling you, you can't get this kind of entertainment just anywhere. So please, join us again next time for Poop or Scoop.
That was cool. Let's play another. Next game up, Riddle Snake.
In the dark and mysterious recesses of parts unknown, there resides the strange and riddle-wise creature known only as the Riddle Snake. His music is enchanting, and his riddles are perplexing. So look close and think even closer and closer and closer. The riddle is, what is as big as an elephant and doesn't weigh anything? What is as big as an elephant and doesn't weigh anything? What is as big as an elephant and doesn't weigh anything? And the answer is an elephant's shadow. Of course, this entire riddle is based on an assumption, as it is extremely difficult to weigh a shadow. They're quite slippery. Ciao.
It's time for Crashbox Rewind, where we flash back through the show and remind you how smart you really are.
Millipedes don't have 1,000 legs. The largest live in South Africa, but they only have 710 legs. Still, that's more limbs than any other creature alive.
He painted The Last Supper and Lisa the Mona, designs air machines, anatomy texts, as well as being an astronomer, musician, and everything else you could ever be.
Leonardo da Vinci, at your service.
Scientists believe that galaxies are formed from vast spinning clouds of gas, which can take on a number of different shapes. The Milky Way was forged into a disk shape, becoming what's known as a spiral galaxy.
Let's review.
The dead fly does not fly.
The revolting slob is reciting a lovely poem. Such rude behavior is unpardonable. Not to mention discourteous.
Well, that's it for now. See you next time.